In a world where transparency is everything, one exchange is stepping up. BloFin isn't just another trading platform. With a doxed CEO, fully independent liquidity providers, and zero interference in the order book, what you see is what you trade. Ranked top 7 globally in proof of reserve inflows, with over 43 million in net assets added this quarter. With over 495 futures pairs, 415 spot listings, and zero latency memory chip trading, sub-millisecond execution, unified trading accounts, smart copy trading, and broker integrations, this unlocks professional-grade infrastructure for everyone. Listed assets go live within 5 minutes while other exchanges wait. And with Fireblocks custody, your assets are secure. Whether you're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, or altcoins, low slippage, deep liquidity, and VIP level support under 3 minutes is the BloFin standard. BloFin, built for traders, powered by performance. Are you in? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svensson, and today we're going to be discussing BloFin, one of the hottest up-and-coming exchanges. This video will serve as a tutorial on how to get started on BloFin, everything from creating an account to executing trades, trading on the spot market and trading on the futures market, and doing a quick dive into some other features. What you're looking at right now is the sign-up page for the code that is listed in the description and in the comment section of this video. If you sign up using the link below or the referral code welcome, you will be getting 10% cash back on all of your trading fees. This means that 1 in 10 trades is a free trade. It is a no-brainer, guys. Definitely use the code welcome when you're signing up. Input your email or phone number, create a password, use code welcome, checkbox for terms and services, and you are ready to sign up. Or simply use your Google account or your Apple sign-in. It only takes about a minute. There is no KYC, and that makes the process just that much more simple. All right, now that we've got our accounts set up and ready to go, there's a very important next step that we must take before doing anything else, and that is account security. After creating your account, if you look at the top right of your screen, you'll see an Assets tab and you'll see a little profile icon. Hover over the profile icon until you see a drop down. Now we see that there is a few selections you can make. One of them, the first one, being account security, and that is what we want to select. Now that we are on the account and security page, we want to make sure that our security level is increased. One of the best ways and first ways you can do that is by using either a passkey or Google Authenticator. You can see that my Google authentication has already been verified with a check mark. I already went through this process. I also set up the anti-phishing code, which allows me to ensure that the emails I get from BloFin have a specific code. That way I know it's a real email from BloFin. I actually don't recommend that you use SMS. Hackers can get control of your phone's SIM card remotely and actually hack your accounts by using SMS. So I would not use SMS for security. I would use Google Authenticator, and I would use passkeys, and of course a strong password. And now you can see I've just completed the passkey creation. I have Google Authenticator and I have my anti-phishing code set, which means I'm ready to go. All right, guys, now that we have our account set up and the security step finished, it is time for the fun part. We are going to fund the account and also begin trading. If I hover over the Assets tab, you can see I have a little bit in here, some crypto dust, but what I need to do is actually add funds into the account to begin trading. And I can go ahead and select Deposit. Now we're landing on the Deposits page, and on this page, you can select any currency that is listed on BloFin or listed in the Deposits list. And this is a very extensive list. Most of their tokens are able to be deposited on the exchange. So you can go ahead and select whatever currency of choice. Most people use USDT or Ethereum or Bitcoin. In this case, I'm going to choose my preferred currency at this moment, and that is Avalanche. I'm going to select the network, which is the Avalanche network. And then it gives me this address is my deposit address for my BloFin account. For Avalanche on BloFin, on the Avalanche network, this is the address that I'm going to use. I hit copy. And once I've copied this address, I go to my external wallet or external exchange, and I will then deposit to that address to receive the crypto. Depositing USDT will make it simple, and you can actually skip the next step in this tutorial if you deposit USDT, but I'm going to go ahead and deposit Avalanche. So copy this address and send it in. Okay, so I went to my external account and I sent Avalanche to this address. and we can see under assets, currently nothing has deposited yet because it's only been a few seconds. I'll give it about a couple minutes depending on the amount of confirmations needed. The funds should be arriving in just a moment. And if I check assets now, after a few minutes, you can see we have gotten the deposit. If I select this arrow, we move into the accounts page, the total equity is now 126. We now have funds sitting in the funding account. There are several accounts that show up, each with their own specific use case. The funding account is simply a place to store funds. You cannot trade from this account. In order to trade the funds that are in this account, you have to move them to either spot or futures. Or if you want to do copy trading, you can do that as well. Or you can put funds into your earn account and basically just store your funds there and earn some yield. Now I want to go to funding. So I select this arrow on the right and it's going to show what is in this account. What we have is currently some Avalanche that I just deposited, a little bit of USDT, and also a little bit of Doge, Solana, and Chainlink from previous activity. Now, I used Avalanche as simply a currency to get funds into my BloFin account. And I want to turn this into USDT so I can trade on spot and futures. What I want to do is sell my Avalanche for USDT so I can then use the USDT to trade. So what I need to do is go over to transfer, click transfer, Avalanche, and I'm going to send it from funding to spot so I can then sell the Avalanche for USDT. So select all, confirm, and now we'll see that the Avalanche has moved away from this account. It has left the funding account and it has entered the spot account. I can go over, select my assets, and now you'll see the Avalanche is sitting in the spot account. Select spot, and there it is. Now what I want to do is trade the Avalanche. So I can either select trade on the right, or I can select spot. Okay, now after selecting spot, we are now sitting in the spot markets page. This is the Bitcoin to USDT pair. It will send you to this pair by default after selecting spot. Now, what I need to do is navigate to my currency that I'm looking to trade. So I go to this drop down menu right here, and you can see Avalanche comes up. I select it, and now we're on the Avalanche pair. On the right side of the screen is the trading portal. This is where you're going to be executing all of your trades. You can either buy or sell. You can do different order types, limit orders, market order, or trigger order. A limit order is a conditional order where you set the price that you want to trade. You can either select a specific buy level or you can select a specific sell level where you will only sell or buy at the level that you've specified in the price tab. Now, a market order is a type of order that will execute automatically right where the price is now. So if I were to go to sell, and we can see that the Avalanche is currently in this spot account, which means it's ready to be sold, I could go to market and then select the amount that I want to sell. And if I were to select sell, it would immediately sell into the order book, meaning the next available price would be taken once I hit this button. And trigger orders are a slightly more advanced type where I could, in theory, sell Avalanche really anywhere I want, below the current price, above the current price. Essentially, you put in your trigger price, or you can do buy trigger, and I could buy Avalanche above or below the current price. And I put in my trigger order price, and then I can select the amount that I want to trade, and it will execute at my specified level. But in this case right now, what I want to do is sell my Avalanche for USDT immediately. I don't want to wait for it. I just want it now. So what I'm going to do is head over to the sell button, market, the available Avalanche is here, and I can just select all, 100%. And on market, if I hit sell and then I confirm this, it will then instantly sell. So we've already just sold. That was an instant transaction. If I go to buy, you can see now I have 121 USDT available to trade. I've cashed out of Avalanche successfully, and now we have some funds to trade. And at this point, I could go to whatever pair I want. Any pair on the spot market, go down this list. There's endless amounts of tokens to trade. I could select any of these tokens and trade them. And if I were to trade them, if I were to buy one of these tokens, it would then be in my spot account on that other page we were just looking at. So when you're on the spot market and you execute buy orders, those tokens will be sitting in your spot market account. And from there, you can send them to funding and withdraw them, or you could just leave them there, up to you. Okay, I've navigated back to my assets page by selecting this tab over here, and we can see that under spot, that is where the funds are sitting. If I select this, the USDT, I just sold Avalanche, the USDT is now sitting under the spot account. Now, what I want to do is move the money from spot to the futures account. I want to show you guys how to trade on futures. If I go to transfer on the top right, and what I need to do here is hit the drop down so that I select spot, and then I want to send to futures. You can see under spot, there is 121 USDT available, and I can then go ahead and send it over. And now you can see the funds have moved from spot to futures. So the funds are now sitting in the futures account. And so I can go over here and select futures. And if I select futures, we'll now see that on the right, the same trading portal, we now have 121 USDT available to trade. So we've already discussed the trading portal. Now the difference here would be that under the futures market, you have the option to add leverage, right? For Bitcoin, anywhere from 1x all the way up to 150x, which is very risky. Definitely proceed with caution when you're going up the leverage scale. You could pretty much lose all your money in like a 0.5% move, right? If you're using 150x and you don't have any collateral to back up your position, if the price goes down by about 0.5% or 1%, you're wiped out, right? That is the risk with leverage. So we go down here, we could select something lower like 10x, and on the top right, you see cross. If you click that, you have the option between cross margin or isolated margin. The difference here is that if you're using cross margin, that means that the positions that you execute will be tied to the available funds in your account. So let's say I were to go to Bitcoin, let's go to the 5-minute chart. If I were to select 0.0001 BTC, that would be $1 worth of Bitcoin, right? But with 10x leverage, that is actually going to be a $10 position. And if I were to change this all the way up to 150, now that is actually going to be 7 cents. It'll only cost me 7 cents to get that much Bitcoin. And if I were to change it to 0.0015, then it only costs me $1 to get $150 position size. So I'm risking $1 to get $150 worth of Bitcoin when using maximum leverage. Now, of course, once again, it is extremely risky to use that much leverage, and you can lose all of your funds immediately if the price goes against you by about 0.5%. So you want to definitely control your risk and lower the amount of leverage that you're using. In this case, we'll just use 10x. Also, it should be mentioned that there are 2 ways that you can select the amount that you want to trade. On the left side of the screen, you can see that we're using USDT amount to select the position size. Now, on the right side, you can see we're using the specified amount of Bitcoin that I'm purchasing. It's important for you guys to know the 2 options you have when sizing up your position. And what I can do is go to limit order and get a more specific entry. If I wanted to enter a Bitcoin position on a test of a slightly lower low for a potential rebound, I could then figure out exactly where I would want to get that position. In this case, we're going to be looking at something like 105,425. And if I type in 105,425, and then I type in the amount of Bitcoin that I want to trade, in this case, it will be 0.001 Bitcoin. Cost $10 on 10x leverage, so that is going to be a $100 position. Because I'm using the limit order type with a specified price, if I were to enter this position, you can see it shows up right there. The order preview shows up, and our order is currently live, right? If I go to open orders on the bottom left, right now we have this limit order set to purchase Bitcoin on a test of a lower low. Now, this is unsecure because I don't have a stop loss set. So I'm going to cancel that, and I want to go back up to this box. We have the price level we want, but what we also need to do is figure out where our stop loss is going to be. And what I can do is select the type of stop loss, right? I can select either a specific price or a percentage. And in this case, I could type in -1%. And for the take profit, I could type in maybe 3%, right? And so now with that amount selected once again, I can then input this into the order book. And now we have a buy order set, and we've specified the take profit and stop loss ahead of time, meaning that once this order is filled, it will automatically set a stop loss and a take profit. That way the order is secure, our trade is secure before we even enter. This is a safer way to approach it rather than just entering a position on leverage without a specified stop loss or take profit. You can set it ahead of time. That way you know that once it executes, even if the price were to continue to fall, we have our risk controlled. So we see Bitcoin's price is starting to bounce up a little bit. It looks like we may have found a support here. And this is the 5-minute chart for Bitcoin. If I go back to the 15-minute chart, it does appear like we're finding decent support. So instead of waiting for this to get filled, I can then change the order type. And let's say I want to buy on a confirmed breakout. I could then set a specific trigger order above this wick high here. If I wanted to buy on a confirmed breakout, I could then hit trigger order. 106,033 would be the breakout price, 106,033. And this type of a buy trigger order will execute a buy order above where the current price is, in this case, a confirmed breakout. So the price went up, triggered my trigger order, and opened a long position. So we are now buying into a break of a short-term resistance, hoping that Bitcoin then pushes up towards 107,000 with a stop loss below the current low. And from this point, I can, just wait and watch, see if this trade plays out. For the case of this tutorial, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to watch the entire trade play out, but you guys get the idea. That was a trigger order example. And also, just so you guys know, on the charts tab here, we can select this indicators button and pull up indicators like the MACD, or the RSI, and now we have the MACD and the RSI on the charts page. And I can also maybe full view the chart, look at this on full screen, a little bit easier to see the details here. Now, if you look at the actual order right now on the bottom, what you'll notice is that there's $10 in the trade right now. That's the total amount that I've put into this trade. Now, this trade is on cross margin, meaning that it's being backed up by the amount of capital in my account. As this trade fluctuates, the amount of available capital will also fluctuate because I'm on cross margin. If I wasn't on cross margin, the estimated liquidation price would actually have a number there, right? In this case, there is no estimated liquidation price because we have enough margin to cover the position. But let's say I were to increase this position. Let's say I were to double it. I'm just going to add to the position here so we can see. Now you'll see that the estimated liquidation price has increased to $45,400. $21 on 10x leverage is a total of $200 position size. So now that I've increased the risk, there is actually a liquidation price, meaning that if the price of Bitcoin was to go down to $45,400, I would be liquidated, meaning that this position and everything in the account would be wiped out. But of course, 45,000 is pretty far away. That's really, really, really far away from here. So I doubt it's going to get there. But also we have our stop loss set at 105,000. So in this case, my risk is controlled. I'm only going to lose, a few cents most likely if the stop loss gets hit, right? 84-cent loss, $2 gain if we get to 107,000. In this case, it's pretty safe. I'm no risk of liquidation with a stop loss here, and with the amount of exposure I have, it's looking pretty good, right? No worries. Since this is a tutorial video, I don't want to have to sit through this entire trade. It's going to take a little while, all right, 15-minute chart. It could take a couple hours to get to that target, and I can hover over the position and actually drag my stop loss to wherever I want to put it, and I could drag my take profit to wherever I would like to put it. And this makes it really easy. You can then, move your stop losses wherever you'd like, maybe reduce your risk or tighten up your take profit so it's more likely to hit. That's one of the cool features I like, is the draggable stop loss and draggable take profit. It makes it so easy to adjust your trades in this highly volatile market. So I just closed out that position as well, and we're sitting pretty much where we were before I even started these trades. But of course, I had to pay some fees to get in and out. But remember, guys, if you're using the sign-up code, the referral code WELCOME, you're going to earn 10% of your fees back. So let me go over to the assets page once again, and now we can see the futures account is where all the funds are sitting currently. And from here I could do whatever I want, send it back to spot, or I could send it to the copy trade where I can copy other traders, or I could send it to the earn account to earn yield on my crypto. And so now we've had some examples of spot trading, futures trading, how to fund your account. Of course, you can always go to your funding account with whatever crypto you have, and you can select withdraw from BloFin. In this case, Tether, input my withdrawal address, select the network, and I can remove my funds from BloFin whenever I'd like. There's also the option of trading bots, which is something I'm going to do another tutorial on, where I can actually set up, or you guys can set up your own trading bots to automatically trade the market for you to make money while you sleep, to make money at really any time of the day that your bot is executing, which is also a fantastic feature that I'm going to be making a full tutorial on by itself. And definitely check out, the rewards, different ways that you can earn extra bonuses. Check out the More tab where you can look at news, VIP programs, lower your fees, become an affiliate, activity centers. There's a lot of stuff you can do. There's a lot of stuff you can check out on BloFin. So definitely get started today. Once again, you want to sign up with code WELCOME to get 10% cash back on all your trading fees, plus whatever bonuses may be available. And this has been your beginner's guide on getting started on BloFin. More advanced tutorials for trading and trading bots will be coming in the very near future. So definitely like and subscribe. Add this video to your watch later tab. Share this video with your friends who may want to get started on BloFin, and I'll see you guys in the next video.